This Minister Paul, Watchman on the Wall. It's October 24th, 2013 at 10:35. I wanted to share a dream I had and a revelation on the coming mark of the beast in Revelation 14, the rapture and the great tribulation that is quickly coming upon us. But the video ran 49 minutes long because I was sharing what happened in the hospital. So I want to make a quick version of this that can reach more people in under 10 minutes. So let's get right into it. Minister Paul, Watchman on the Wall. I really was in the hospital Monday as a result of some blood labs that came back bad that were taken on the 16th and got the results on the 17th. Ended up on the ER on the 21st, and today's 24th, so it's been really quick. Rushed into the ER and given a bed number 4 at the end. I was given a male nurse just like this. This could be him. Looks just like him, same age, everything. I'm laying in this bed, and the first thing they did before they did anything upon entry into the ER was put a barcode band around they started to put it around my right wrist, and I asked the male nurse, as you see here, this is just a recreation. I said, would you mind putting it on my left hand? And he said, no, it's mandatory right hand. And I said, well, I don't like to sign to that. And I had my cross on. I said, I'm a minister. You know what they say about the right hand, the number of the beast, and the RFID chip. And he said, oh, speaking of that, he saw my cross around my neck that I've been wearing for like 20 years almost. He said, we're going to have to take your cross off because they were going to do some x-rays, etc. So my wife, first time I took my cross off, they took my cross, gave it to my wife, and then he kind of laughed. He was really cool. He was a really cool nurse, and my wife and sister were both in the room, and my sister actually works on the 4th floor of the hospital I was in. That's why we went there. And my sister works for this healthcare agency in the corporate department, and they had their badges on. So the talk in the room was kind of loose because of us all being with the same health organization of the hospital we're in. So he said I wouldn't laugh about that barcode because he said the RFID chip is already being discussed about being implemented in the hospital. And he was very serious about this. He said you won't have no say so, and he kind of laughed. And I said I'll always have a say so. He said no, you won't get in this hospital without it. He said everything's in place here. He said IBM's been here. He said the software, the hardware, he said it's all in place. We're just waiting for someone to say go. That's it. I mean, so basically this world is slowly making us sick through chemtrails, bad water, bad food, radiation, and who knows what else the government's doing. And then when they implement this mandatory Obamacare, and then they get you to these hospitals because you're sick, and then they give you insurance to be there, and then they chip you there. That's a reality that is, I mean, literally right around the corner. And so I said, well, I'll never take it. I told him right there, I will never take it. You have to kill me first. And then he wheeled me around to a couple of rooms. I had to get a CAT scan on one floor. I had to get a chest X-ray on another floor. And every time I had a procedure, he'd have to use this gun to hit my barcode, and it would beep, and a laser would flash. And every time something was ordered, it was a beep, and it had my name, date of birth, social, and all that on this. And then when you leave and check out, they cut it off and shred it. And so he was telling me how much better the new system was going to be with this chip in you, and that they as employees would use it too. They wouldn't need the access badge. They were about forgetting their access badge. They'd just come and go. Their chip was their ID, and the chip was the patient's ID too. And if you don't believe what he is saying about it being implemented in a hospital that I was just in, not a rumor or a myth, Google just do like I did. Go on Google and put in RFID used in hospitals, or Google on YouTube. Put in YouTube video search for RFID chips in hospitals, and you'll see it's not just in people; it's in all the products they're using and stuff. They're using it for uh, maintaining logs of things in storage, etc. It's everywhere. Even on their hazmat bags, will have this chip to be tracked that they dispose of. It's everywhere. And I noticed when I did my search when I got home from the hospital, it's not just in the United States, it's in Europe also and some other countries. So what the Lord had told me was that it'll start off as just a nationwide thing, in hospitals. It's already in our pets. Both my dogs are chipped. It's the law here. Um, in case they get lost, if they get taken to the animal shelter, they can actually barcode scan them, and it'll pop up my name, my address as the owner, their name, and my phone number, and they'll call me and say, "Come get your dog." This is real. So as I kind of went in and out of consciousness, I had the most realest dream I've ever had in my life. It was so real that I asked my sister and wife about it later happening, and they just kind of looked at me funny because it didn't happen. It was a dream or vision. I don't know which one, but it happened. So as I go wheeling around this hospital, whether it was in a dream or vision, I can't say. I looked up and I saw the Lord, and He was standing on a precipice, um, and He was in heaven, and He was with angels, and the sky was like literally opening up, and a trumpet had blown, and it was time. And that's what it said. It is time. Go. And he took his left foot and began a descension, just like he ascended. He began to descend to come get us. He was coming to get us, and the words I heard was to let us escape. I mean, literally, you need to understand. He was coming to rescue us from what was coming upon the world. We were escaping the world. It was so bad, and you can see it now. And so I looked up at Jesus, and I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus. He's coming," and He was coming down. And then I took my eyes off Him for a minute, and I looked down at the ground. And then I saw all these white FEMA buses coming in, and I've seen them driving around here. Like 6 of them rolled into the hospital, and it said Department of Homeland Security on the side, and they had officers with them and stuff. I mean, 1, 2 big ones with tinted windows, big long ones, hold 100 people each. They could have took the whole hospital, all the patients. And so I turned and I said to my sister and my wife, and this never happened, that's why I know it was a dream or a vision. I said, "What are all the Homeland Security buses for?" And they said, "What do you mean Homeland Security?" I said, I've seen those buses, because I literally have. I used to drive a patrol car around here, and I've seen them driving around, going from prisons or our local jail or the Air Force base. So I know what they look like. And they said they're here to get the uncompliant people. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, so in other words, you don't want to be on the bus, Gus. Seriously, you want to be up here. People talking about wanting to go through the tribulation and, fight wars and fight demons and all that. I'm telling you, there's a reason why it's called pray to escape what's coming. So I just wanted to share this. This is right around the corner. This RFID chip, do the research yourself, is mandatory. Matter of fact, they gave me 2 immunizations, and they were telling me that they have to go to this CARE website. Let me show you real quick, and then I'll end. California keeps a registry of inoculations, and that they gave me 2, which I didn't want, but they said it was it was going to help save my life because my immune system's shutting down, but that's a whole nother story. So here's the website. So it's simple, cairweb.com. Just Google this, CAIR. This is going to go nationwide and then worldwide. Everything you see here. So when I came home, I prayed, and Jesus, I was asking, Lord, was I just delirious? Was I tired? I wasn't on any drugs or have been drinking. And he said, no, he said, it's just going to be like that. The moment that you are caught up and the bride is removed, the tribulation begins. It's not like you have a year or two to think about it. They begin immediately to start looking for the people left behind. There isn't no grace period. In other words, you will go through hell on earth, and they were going to ask you to take this chip. Uh, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. You want to be caught up. You do not want to be left behind. Um, and I'm just making this out of love. I don't know what else to add to this other than pray about this. Pray about this. Pray about this. Because they were literally coming to take people into custody because they were refusing this world program. Where they were taking you was going to cost you your life if you didn't submit to them. And I'm here to tell you right now, today on October 24th, everything I just said is not only in the Bible, it's in place. The capability to do everything I just said is in place. Look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. And if you're not saved, you need to get saved. Amen.